Okay, we're looking at verses from the book of Samuel, 1 Samuel chapter 4, verses 6 through 8. And we're adding in the last few weeks an additional component to our Bible verse study, namely trying to introduce some techniques we can use to actually identify words that we can look up in the dictionary. So again, really the first thing we want to do is find a dictionary that we can all use together. Let me be sharing that with you. It seems that I stopped sharing at some point, so let me start sharing again. So actually, the first thing we're going to do together is we're going to bring in a dictionary that will serve us well for looking up words in the Bible. It's the Jastrow Dictionary of Biblical and Rabbinic Literature, commonly known as Jastrow's Dictionary. This work was the first English language dictionary for studying the Talmud, Midrashim, and Targumim. The Targum, by the way, was the Aramaic translation of the Bible. So we have Aramaic in the Jastrow as well as Hebrew. And we're going to use the Jastrow as our dictionary. Let's see if we have good luck again tonight in terms of bringing in the Jastrow dictionary. So we're actually not having good luck bringing in the Jastrow dictionary. So we will go back to our verse and just work within the verse itself. And I think once again I need to share. I don't know why the share keeps on going away. Okay. Our goal is to isolate out roots and nouns within larger words. For example, in the first word, we have vayishmu'u. Together, everyone, vayishme'u.
Vayishmu'u.
Right.
Vayishme'u.
Very good. We recognize a root, shin mem ayin, which means to hear. And that would be the root that we would look up in the dictionary, the shin mem ayin. The yud in front of it is the sign of the future tense. And the shuruk at the end is the sign of the plural. So yishme'u means they will hear. The vav that precedes the word overthrows the future tense and converts it into the past tense. So yishme'u is they will hear, and vayishme'u is they heard. I'm going to give Joseph an opportunity to review this for us. Joseph, I'm asking you if you can to take this first word and identify the root, the shoresh, and then tell us what the yud means, what the shuruk means, and what the vav means.
Okay. We do have the shoresh, shama, which is shin, mem, and ayin. Va means ant. Yi shows the future tense, and then the last u. Have I confused?
No, you're spot on. The last "u" is the plural. The plural.
The plural. Okay. So the word is read as Vayishmeu.
And how would we translate it?
I don't know how I can
Oh,
put
do you
it
recall the me? Okay.
best way.
Argus, go ahead.
Wait. Sorry. Which one?
The first word, are you able to give us a translation of the first word?
Is with meu.
Yes. Gideon, do you recall the meaning of the root Shema? The Shin Mem
Yeah,
Ayin.
yes.
Okay.
Shema means
Shema
to
to
hear.
hear,
Right.
hear.
Yeah.
And then the Yud brings it into the future. Will hear. All
They
right.
will
And
hear.
they will hear. But then what happens with this va at the beginning?
And they will
Under
hear.
in
So
English.
in English, yes, in English, right. The va does mean and, you've got that right, but it also changes the future to the past. So it becomes and they heard.
Mm.
It's called a vav hahipuch, an overturning vav, because it overturns the future tense back into the past tense. So yishma'u, they will hear, becomes va yishma'u, and they heard.
Mm.
And you see that all over the place in biblical verses. It's a narrative form. Let's try this one here, the last word in the second line, Gideon. Why don't you do the analysis? Can you identify the Hebrew root and then tell us what the Yud, the Shuruk, and the Vav mean?
Yes. So the Hebrew root is Amer, and the whole word will read as Vayomru.
Right. So do you recall the meaning of the Amar root?
Yes. Like say, is it?
Yes, good.
And they
And
said.
you got it. That's right. Let's go through the entire analysis. You got to the end incorrectly, but let's go through the rest of it. What does the Yud indicate?
Is it not future tense?
It is. That's right. And what is the Shuruk?
I can't remember.
It's the plural. The
Plural.
plural.
Okay.
Right.
And they will say,
Right. Except that we know the Vav not only means and, but it becomes an overturning. It overturns
The
the
past
future
tense.
and puts it into the past.
okay.
So it becomes and they said.
Okay. And they said,
Right. Well done.
uh-huh.
Very nice. Very nice. The other, getting away from the verbs now, this is maybe a little bit easier, you could say. When we have a hey at the beginning of the word, it often means the definite
Yeah.
article the. So it acts as a clue that the next word is a noun. and something that we could look up directly in the dictionary. So hatrua, what is the word that we would look up in the dictionary? Agus.
Trua.
Trua, right. We would look up trua in the dictionary. Or here's another one. We have hagdola. So what is the word that we would look up in the dictionary?
Abdullah.
Very good. Very well done. Gedola means greatness, the greatness. Here's another one. We have ha-ivrim. What word would we look up in the dictionary, Agus?
Ivrim.
Well done. Spot on. You guys are all doing really, really well with this. It's very exciting. You're becoming Hebrew translators. Here's another one, ha-machaneh. Sammy, what would be the word that we would look up in the dictionary?
Mahane.
Well done. Let's give our efforts at bringing in the dictionary one more shot. Let's try a different dictionary. Maybe we'll trick it into cooperating with us. Okay, this one kicked in. So here we have the GUI, or the user interface, for the Klein Dictionary, which is also an etymological dictionary of Rabbinic Hebrew. Why don't we choose a word to look up? How about this last one, Sammy, that we identified, machaneh?
Mahane.
Let's try to look up machaneh. I think some of you remember already what it means, but let's look it up. So of course you have to know how to type in Hebrew. So that's one hurdle that you have to overcome. But once you figured out how to do that on your phone, we can type in the word machaneh. And it actually pops up, so we can just click it and it brings us right to machaneh. And then it hopefully loads. We see machanai pertaining to a camping. But we're having difficult. Oh, here we go. We see it over here, machaneh, a camp, an encampment, an army, or a host. And we see that it comes from the root chana, to encamp. So you even get some of the roots from which these nouns are formed. So it's very, very useful, wonderful dictionary. Let's try another one. I really should get a drink of water, you guys. Bear with me for just a sec. Okay, let's try another one. How about Ivrim? Let's look up. Oh, sorry. We have Ha-Ivrim. Let's see if we can find Ivrim. And again, I think some of you may even know what this one means. But let's see if we can manage it. So we have Ayin, Vet, Resh, Yud, Mem Sofit, Ivrim. So it seems that we don't really have, it appears that we don't have an entry, but I think, how about Ivri? No entry for Ivri. How about Ever? So this one is a little tricky. It doesn't give us an entry for Ivrim. But we
Showing.
discussed. Oh. It seems the closest we can get is Ayin Vet Resh. So I think we discussed this yesterday. This idea of avar, meaning to cross, or a region beyond, the opposite side of the river Euphrates. So we discussed the fact that Ivrim refers to the people that crossed over, because Father Abraham first crossed over the Euphrates River on his way to Israel from basically Iraq. And then when the Jews came out of Egypt, they crossed over both the Arnon and the Jabbok, and then ultimately the Jordan. So the Jews were always crossing over rivers for one reason or another, and that is the etymology of the word Ivrim, the people that avar, that were crossing over these rivers. So that one's a little more subtle. Let's try another. How about Trua? We have, oh, I'm not sharing. We have Hatrua. Let's look up the word Trua. So we have Tet, Resh, Shuruk, Ayin. Where did you go, Ayin? I know you're here somewhere. Ayin and Hey. Trua.
Not presenting. Dictionary not presenting.
Okay, there we go. Trua. And we can load that. And there we have the word trua, a shout, a cry, an alarm, a succession of tremulous notes of the shofar or trumpet, a verbal noun of heiria, he shouted, gave a blast, which is the he feel of roa. So this is the shorish, the verbal root is resh vav ayin, roa, and from that root we get turua, and we also get heiria. So there's a lot of good information in this dictionary, and it's all very much based on understanding these verbal roots. Okay, so that was a good exercise.
What is the meaning of ruach? Ruach.
Ruah is a shout.
A shout.
A shout.
What
look
about
up
when we
yeah,
add
yeah.
ruach?
Ruach.
Yes, we
So
add the ach.
right, ruach is spirit.
Okay, they share the same shoresh, I think.
So the third radical is an ayin in roa, to shout, and then in ruach, let's look it up. It's reish vav chet instead of reish vav ayin. It's reish vav reish vav chet ruach. Ruach, meaning wind or breeze or air, soul or spirit. So ruach has to do with soul or spirit. So it's a different shoresh. It's not the
So when we want to say Holy Spirit, we had Chodesh.
kodesh.
Kodesh,
Ruach hakodesh, right?
the Holy Spirit. Ruach
Ruach
HaKodesh.
hakodesh. Beautiful. Where did you learn that?
I heard somewhere.
Yeah, you heard right. You heard right. Ruach hakodesh. Yeah, that's it. All right. Okay, guys, that's the Hebrew dictionary work and the recitation in the green level, which we all did together, went very well. So we'll continue with the green level tomorrow. Oh, Kishore has joined us. We're at the end of our class, Kishore, but you're welcome if you're available to join the 8:30 class, which will start in just a couple of minutes. So let me get ready for that class, and I wish you a very good night. Laila tov. Toda rabah.
Lato.
Laila tov.